Well, good evening if you're sat there waiting to join us for the quiz. Just thought I'd pop up and say good evening and welcome to our quiz evening. We'll be starting at 7:30, so make sure you're sitting comfortably. You've got your pen and paper handy and maybe a glass of gin and tonic or a red wine or white wine, whatever takes your fancy. Get yourselves comfortable and we'll be with you at about 7:30 ready for our quiz this evening. Got 3 good rounds for you. Hopefully not too hard this week. Maybe a bit more of a relaxing week this week for you after the last couple of weeks. So I'll be with you in about 8 or 9 minutes. Good evening, everyone. If you're sat there waiting for the quiz to start, we'll be with you in about 4 minutes' time. So please make sure you're sitting comfortably, that you've got some paper and pens and pencil handy. And if it takes your fancy, a glass of G&T or a red or white wine or just a cup of tea or coffee, as we'll have our quiz shortly, and that'll last about an hour and a half. So make sure you've got everything you need to hand. Quiz shouldn't be too bad tonight. I've been quite careful with the choice of questions, so I've taken a look at them tonight, and hopefully they're okay for you and not too taxing, but we'll see. You can never tell. So I'll be with you in about 3 minutes' time. Well, good evening and welcome to Saturday Quiz Night. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I've turned the microphone on, which is always helpful. I'm hoping that Meredy has found the right website, because I saw her posting up on thing to say good evening to everybody on the advert for the quiz and not actually on the quiz feed itself. So I'm hoping Meredy's joined us. Maybe she can just pop a message up so as to know she is actually here and not still waiting for us on a post earlier in the day that said that the quiz was on this evening. Just a little bit worried she's waiting for everybody in the wrong place. So Meredy, are you with us? That's the most important thing. She hasn't come up yet. Hi everybody. Hi Cassie. Hi Tracy. Hi Doug and Maureen. Lots of all the usual names coming up, which is really, really nice to see you all joining us yet again for our quiz evening. We'll give it a couple of minutes before we start because I see people are still connecting and the numbers are going up as we speak. I can actually see the numbers that are connecting, so that's really, really good. I think we have got some competition on this weekend because I think the Scouts have got a virtual weekend camp. They were supposed to be away on camp this weekend, I think, and they've got a virtual weekend camp. And I think they too have a quiz evening tonight at 8 o'clock or 8:30. So we might have a bit of competition because I know some of our regulars. I think Denise, my wife, is on the Scout thing tonight, and I know we do get a few people from the Scout side joining us for our quiz each week. So we might be down a few. But judging by the numbers so far, we're up to about 40 households connected in at the moment, which is a good number. And I'm still worried that Meredy doesn't seem to have popped up on this feed. So she's probably waiting out on the internet somewhere. Oh no, Denise is on downstairs. I thought she was going to be somewhere else, but that's good. No, she's on a pad upstairs. I can hear her running up and down the stairs. Excellent. So we've still got a few more coming in. Usual scenario tonight, 3 rounds of questions. There's no picture round this week, but I am working on a picture round for next week or the week after. Nothing too complicated, so don't start panicking. Just thought that might break it up a bit. So we've got our usual 3 rounds. We'll have a potluck round in the middle and 2 subject rounds either side of that. And as I've always promised, there will not be a round on football. And in fact, I'm trying to avoid any specific sort of sport, so I won't have a round on tennis either. I might have a general sporting one at some stage, but I certainly won't have a cricket one or a tennis one or a football one, because obviously if you're not into that at all in any shape, way or form, then you don't stand a hope at all of getting any of the questions right. And I'm not a sport lover myself. Let's just have a look and see. Nobody's trying to connect at the moment. Okay. So if you haven't joined us before, it's quite a simple process. 3 rounds of 30 questions. I will read the questions out, and I tend to read them sort of twice when I go through the first time. And then what I'll do is I'll read them through a third time. I'll whip through them at speed a third time, just in case you've missed any on the way through the first time. Sometimes the internet blips a bit and you can't understand what I'm saying, and sometimes the doorbell goes or the phone rings and you miss it, or you might not know the answer the first time round. So it does give you a chance the second time round just to fill in any gaps. If you've had a blip on the internet or anything, hopefully that gives you the chance to get those missing questions sorted out when we go around that third time. And then I will read out the answers. So we don't put any answers up on the screen. You mark them yourselves. We trust you to mark them yourselves. And then the idea is you just share with everybody else. If you're on Facebook, you share the score you've got. We have got about 5 families joining us from YouTube. I still haven't sussed out how I can communicate with YouTube. So if we've got any Wizzo technical people out there who know how we can communicate with people on YouTube whilst we're doing things live on Facebook, that would be appreciated, because I do feel that the people on YouTube, yes, they can join in with the quiz, but they're a little bit out on a limb that they can't communicate with us and let us know their scores. Maybe I just need to give them a mobile phone number and they can text in their scores and I can tell you their scores or something like that. But we'll have a think about that and see how we go. And Meredy's with us. That's good. I'm glad Meredy's with us. Thank you, Meredy, for saying good evening, because I was a bit worried that you were off somewhere else on the internet, having commented on a post earlier in the day about the quiz and not actually connected with the live quiz. But it's good to see you're actually with us and in the right place, so I can relax a little bit now. Okay, so our first round tonight is a round of 30 questions on time and space. So our first round tonight is 30 questions on time and space. We've got 50 households now connected in, so that's really, really good. So good number tonight. So welcome to you all, whether you're local from Wyke or Weymouth or Dorset or England, or as I know we do have at least one person from a long, long way away. So you're all very welcome this evening. So then, here we go. Our first round of questions on time and space. Question number 1. What was the name of BBC Wonders of the Universe presenter and astrophysicist Brian Cox's pop band? So what was the name of BBC Wonders of the Universe presenter and astrophysicist Brian Cox's pop band? Okay, so okay if you're into your pop bands, or if you're into Brian Cox and science and things like that. Okay, question number 2. Which big theory explains the formation of the universe? Which big theory explains the formation of the universe? Yes, and of course, Brother Alistair has said, and Portland, yes. So we do welcome anybody from Portland as well. I obviously missed Portland. Very important not to miss Portland. Number 3. What is another name for the star constellation, the Plough? What is another name for the star constellation, the Plough? That was number 3. Number 4. Which Helen became the first Briton in space? Which Helen became the first Briton in space? Number 5. What is the term for a giant group of stars held together by gravity? What is the term for a giant group of stars held together by gravity? Number 6. In 1981, Columbia 1 was the first flight of which distinctive craft, not aircraft. In 1981, Columbia 1 was the first flight of which distinctive craft? Number 7. What can be a red dwarf or a white dwarf? What can be a red dwarf or a white dwarf? That was number 7. Number 8. What planet is the largest in our solar system? Number 8. Which planet is the largest in our solar system? Number 9. Who or what was Hale Bopp? Who or what was Hale Bopp? And that's HALE hyphen BOPP. Just in case I said it wrong. Who or what was Hale Bopp? That's question number 9. Question number 10. In 1986, what happened to Challenger 52 after takeoff? In 1986, what happened to Challenger 52 after takeoff? Number 11. Cape Canaveral took on board the name of which US president? Cape Canaveral took on board the name of which US president? That was number 11. I wonder how you're doing with these questions. They don't seem too bad to me. I certainly should be able to get 3/4 of those, I think, if I was answering them. So hopefully you're doing as well, if not better. So number 12. Here we go with number 12. Where is the Sea of Tranquility? Where is the Sea of Tranquility? That's number 12. Number 13. What is the name of the force that keeps planets moving around the sun? What is the name of the force that keeps planets moving around the sun? Number 14. Tyros, Echo and Sputnik were types of what? Tyros, Echo and Sputnik were types of what? That was number 14. Number 15. What is the name for the study of the structure of the universe? What is the name for the study of the structure of the universe? Number 16. Which John was the first American to orbit Earth? Which John was the first American to orbit Earth? Number 17. What was the name of the project that first put man on the moon? What was the name of the project that first put man on the moon? Number 18. Alphabetically, which is the last in the list of planets in our solar system? Alphabetically, which is last in the list of planets in our solar system? Number 19. What is Yuri Gagarin's famous for? Sorry, what is Yuri Gagarin's famous first? Not famous for. What is Yuri Gagarin's famous first? What was he first at doing? That was number 19. Number 20. Approximately how long does it take the Earth to travel around the sun? Approximately how long does it take the Earth to travel around the sun? Number 21. Which bright comet visits Earth every 76 years? Which bright comet visits Earth every 76 years? Number 22. Which country launched the Pioneer space probes? Which country launched the Pioneer space probes? Now here's a very apt one. Some people know why. What is the popular name for the star Sirius? What is the popular name for the star Sirius? I have a company called Sirius. In fact, I have two companies that start with the name Sirius. And if Denise gets this one wrong, because Denise actually chose the name Sirius with me by going through a dictionary one night when we're desperately trying to think of a name for a company. So, yes, what is the popular name for the star Sirius? Number 24. Quasi-stellar sources are in short usually known as what? Quasi-stellar sources are in short usually known as what? Number 25. Who is the long-time presenter of The Sky at Night? That could be a who was. I'm not sure whether that person still presents and whether that person is actually still alive, because this book is probably a few years old. So who is or was, if they're no longer with us, the long-time presenter of The Sky at Night? Number 26. The moons of Uranus are named after which playwright's characters? The moons of Uranus are named after which playwright's characters? Number 27. Jodrell Bank is in which English county? Jodrell Bank is in which English county? Number 28. What units are used for measuring distance in space? What units are used for measuring distance in space? 29. What was the first animal in space? What was the first animal in space? Number 30. Our solar system lies in which galaxy? Our solar system lies in which galaxy? Now that is the first round of 30 questions. I'll read them all through quickly in a minute, and just so you can check any answers you want to check, or if you've missed any of the questions, or you've had a blip on your internet and you didn't hear the question properly, I will read them all through quickly once again before we go through the answers. So highlight any that you need to check on the way through, okay, and then you can make sure you don't miss them as we go through. So for the final time, one quick read through of the first round of 30 questions. Question number 1. What was the name of BBC Wonders of the Universe presenter and astrophysicist Brian Cox's pop band? Number 2. Which big theory explains the formation of the universe? Number 3. What is another name for the star constellation the Plough? Number 4. Which Helen became the first Briton in space? Which Helen became the first Briton in space? Number 5. What is the term for a giant group of stars held together by gravity? Number 6. In 1981, Columbia 1 was the first flight of which distinctive craft? Number 7. What can be a red dwarf or a white dwarf? Number 8. Which planet is the largest in our solar system? Number 9. Who or what was Hale-Bopp? Hale-Bopp. Hale-Bopp. Number 10. In 1986, what happened to Challenger 52 after takeoff? Number 11. Cape Canaveral took on board the name of which US president? Number 12. Where is the Sea of Tranquility? Number 13. What is the name of the force that keeps planets moving around the sun? Number 14. Tyros, Echo and Sputnik were types of what? Number 15. What is the name for the study of the structure of the universe? Number 16. Which John was the first American to orbit Earth? Number 17. What was the name of the project that first put man on the moon? Number 18. Alphabetically, which is the last in the list of planets in our solar system? Number 19. What is Yuri Gagarin's famous first? Number 20. Approximately how long does it take the Earth to travel around the Sun? 21. Which bright comet visits Earth every 76 years? Number 22. Which country launched the Pioneer space probes? Number 23. What is the popular name for the star Sirius? Number 24. Quasi-stellar sources are in short usually known as what? And I will correct this question to be, who was the long-time presenter of The Sky at Night? 26. The moons of Uranus are named after which playwright's characters? 27. Jodrell Bank is in which English county? 28. What units are used for measuring distance in space? 29. What was the first animal in space? And finally, in round 1, the final question, number 30, our solar system lies in which galaxy? So that's it for the final time reading through round 1. Get yourselves ready to mark the answers. I will now get the answers in front of me and we'll go through and you can mark your own. So, who knew the answer to number 1 then? What was the name of BBC Wonders of the Universe presenter and astrophysicist Brian Cox's pop band? It was D-Ream. So, Dream with a hyphen in the middle. D-Ream. D-Ream. Number 2. Which big theory explains the formation of the universe? It's the Big Bang. The Big Bang. Number 3. What is another name for the star constellation the Plough? Ursa Major, I will also accept the Great Bear. So either Ursa Major or the Great Bear. Number 4. Which Helen became the first Briton in space? It is Sharman. Helen Sharman. Number 5. What is the term for a giant group of stars held together by gravity? It's galaxy. Galaxy. Number 6. In 1981, Columbia 1 was the first flight of which distinctive craft? It was the Space Shuttle. The Space Shuttle. Number 7. What can be a red dwarf or a white dwarf? It is a star. A star. For number 7. Number 8. Which planet is the largest in our solar system? It is Jupiter. Jupiter. Number 9. Who or what is Hale-Bopp? It is a comet. A comet. Number 10. In 1986, what happened to Challenger 52 after takeoff? It exploded. It was the space shuttle that exploded, unfortunately, and killing everybody on board. So it exploded. Number 11. Cape Canaveral took on board the name of which US president? It was Kennedy. Kennedy. I think because it became the Kennedy Space Center, didn't it? Number 12. Where is the Sea of Tranquility? It's on the moon. So the moon. Number 13. What is the name of the force that keeps planets moving around the sun? It is gravity. Number 13. Gravity. Number 14. Tyros, Echo and Sputnik were types of what? It is satellites. Satellites. Number 15. What is the name for the study of the structure of the universe? It's cosmology. Cosmology. Number 15. Number 16. Which John was the first American to orbit Earth? It is Glenn. John Glenn. Number 17. What was the name of the project that first put man on the moon? It is Apollo. Apollo. Number 18. Alphabetically, which is the last in the list of planets in our solar system? It's Uranus. Uranus. Number 19. What is Yuri Gagarin's famous first? He was the first man in space. Number 19. First man in space. Number 20. Approximately how long does it take the Earth to travel around the sun? It is a year. Because it's actually a year and a quarter of a day, isn't it? That's why we have a leap year every 4th year to make up that quarter of a day. So it is approximately a year. Number 21. Which bright comet visits Earth every 76 years? It's Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet. Number 22. Which country launched the Pioneer space program? Which country launched the Pioneer space program? It was the USA. The USA. Number 23. And if my wife gets this wrong, she'll be in trouble. What is the popular name for the star Sirius? The popular name for the star Sirius is the Dog Star. The Dog Star. Number 24. Quasi-stellar sources are in short usually known as what? It's quasars. Quasars. So quasi-stellar sources are in short known as quasars. Number 25. Who is, that's what it says here, the long-time presenter of the Sky at Night, and I changed the question to say who was the long-time presenter of the Sky at Night. Of course it was Patrick Moore, and I was trying to remember whether he died, so I did look it up. He did die on the 9th of December 2012, so he was the long-time presenter of the Sky at Night, and I think he did it for something like 40 odd years, didn't he? It was a long time. Number 26. The moons of Uranus are named after which playwright's characters? It is Shakespeare. Shakespeare. Number 27. Jodrell Bank is in which English county? It is Cheshire. Cheshire. Number 28. What units are used for measuring distance in space? It is light years. Light years. Number 29. What was the first animal in space? And I would have got this wrong because I didn't go for this animal. I went for another one. It is a dog. I thought it was a monkey. But number 29 is a dog. The first animal in space was a dog. Number 30. Our solar system lies in which galaxy? It is the Milky Way. The Milky Way. So that's the answers to our first round. I wonder how you did with that round. I think I would have got somewhere about 60 or 70% of those if I was answering the questions. Yes, they were very spacey and science orientated, but they were the sorts of questions that a lot of people would normally know the answers to, I think. I'm not into stars and things like that, but I knew pretty well a lot of the answers to those questions. I'm hoping you did too. So do have a look. Have we got another one querying the answers? It looks like it, doesn't it? Oh dear. Venus must have been discovered, wasn't it, when this book was written? So is there a reason why they've got Uranus as the answer and not Venus for that question? Which question was that? It was question number oh, where was it? Question number 18, I think it was. Yeah, question number 18. Alphabetically, which is the last in the list of planets of our solar system? Venus does come after Uranus. I'm just reading what it says in the book. So I don't know why that should be wrong. I'm taking it that there's nothing strange about Venus. It's not just on the outside of our solar system or anything strange. But I will accept Venus. That's the problem with these quiz books, isn't it? I mean, people write them and sometimes they get the answers wrong. You know, they're not foolproof, I'm afraid. But how are we doing? 29 out of 30, 18, 27, 20. So yeah, people are doing pretty good. We've got some high scores this time. 21, 23, 22. All pretty good. All pretty good. So that doesn't look like too bad a round for you. 23, it's 21. It's testing the brain cells a little bit. It's no good having those rounds where you get 30 each time, is it? Because that would not be fun. If we got 30 every time, then we wouldn't be having, we wouldn't be testing out the grey matter and the brain cells. So we're going to get ready now for our potluck round. Make sure I've got the right one. There we go, got the right one. Let's put the clip on the other side of the book in case the book shuts. There we go. So our second round tonight is potluck. Let's just make sure nobody's trying to join the group or anything and sitting out there desperately trying to get in. No? Excellent. Okay. So our second round. This is our potluck round. Well done, Denise. 23 out of 30. Not bad. Not bad. Are you ready for round 2, potluck? Okay. What is the aurora australis also called? What is the aurora australis also called? Number 2. Which 3 South American countries does the equator cross? Which 3 South American countries does the equator cross? Number 3. Which was the first X-rated film to win an Oscar? What was the first X-rated film to win an Oscar? Number 4. What is the name of the national airline of Israel? What is the name of the national airline of Israel? Number 5. Before Henry Cavill stepped into the role in 2013, who portrayed Superman on the big screen? Before Henry Cavill stepped into the role in 2013, who portrayed Superman on the big screen? Number 6. Which female cookery writer wrote Climbing the Mango Trees? Which female cookery writer wrote Climbing the Mango Trees? Number 7. What did little Polly Flinders spoil? What did little Polly Flinders spoil? And don't forget, if you've missed some of these on the first way through, or you're not sure of the answers, you will get another chance. I'll read back through them in a minute. I'm struggling a bit with these questions, I have to be honest. There's only a couple there that I think I will have got so far. So maybe this is a little bit of a tough potluck round tonight. Number 8. Who wrote Anna Karenina? Who wrote Anna Karenina? That's number 8. Who wrote Anna Karenina? Number 9. What metallic element is mixed with tin to form the alloy bronze? What metallic element is mixed with tin to form the alloy bronze? Number 10. Who was the founder of the Christian Science movement? Who was the founder of the Christian Science movement? Number 11. Made this millennium, in which decade was I'll start again. I've got my false teeth in a state there. Made this millennium, in which decade was the detective series Jericho set? Made this millennium, in which decade was the detective series Jericho set? Number 12. In which city did Karl Marx write Das Kapital? In which city did Karl Marx write Das Kapital? Pam, are you saying you can hear the seagulls in the background? Is that what you're saying? I've got the window open in my little office because it gets quite hot in here. I was doing some online training in the week for about 200 doctors online, and I was sat here with my little spotlights above me as I do so that I'm well lit, and all of a sudden I came with a very, very faint. I thought, I'm going to pass out with 200 doctors and about 150 nurses watching me, and not one of them could do anything about it because they're all miles away all over the country. But I managed to open the window and open the office door and get a throughput of air and recovered quite quickly. But I thought I was just about to pass out with all these hundreds of people from the medical profession watching me, which wasn't very good. So tonight I have the office window open and the door open and a throughput of air coming through the room so I don't pass out. So, number 12. You didn't really need to know that, but I thought I'd share it with you. In which city did Karl Marx write Das Kapital? Number 13. How is the Caribbean island of St. Christopher more familiarly known? So, how is the Caribbean island of St. Christopher more familiarly known? Number 14. What planet has a pink appearance? What planet has a pink appearance? Number 14. Number 15. Who was the world professional billiards champion from 1968 to 1980? Who was the world professional billiards champion from 1968 to 1980? That's a long time to be a champion of any sport, isn't it? That's 12 years to hold the championship title in a sport. Very, very good. Number 16. Which is the most northerly capital city in Europe? Which is the most northerly capital city in Europe? Number 17. Which New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe? Which New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe? That doesn't read properly. I think it means who was the New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe. Number 18. Which country is the world's leading producer of copper? Which country is the world's leading producer of copper? Number 19. Which acid builds up in the muscles during severe exercise? Which acid builds up in the muscles during severe exercise? Now here's one for Michael and Diana Gill if they're online tonight. I'm sure they'll know the answer to this one. Maybe Michael Dilliston might as well. Who circumnavigated the world solo in Gypsy Moth 4 in 1966 to 67? Who circumvented the world solo in Gypsy Moth 4 in 1966 to 1967? Number 21. Which Australian city stands near the mouth of the Yarra River? Which Australian city stands near the mouth of the Yarra River? Number 22. What common mineral is formed by the fossilization of vegetation? God, that sounds very complicated, that question, doesn't it? I think the answer is quite simple, but it's a complicated question. What common mineral is formed by the fossilization of vegetation? Number 23. Which stand-up comedian created the character the pub landlord? Which stand-up comedian created the character the pub landlord? See, Michael's on the case. I thought he would be. That's a good question for Michael, that one, I think, the Gypsy Moth one. Number 24. Which comic playwright wrote the trilogy The Norman Conquests? Which comic playwright wrote the trilogy The Norman Conquests? Number 25. Who took over the movie role of Clarice Starling from Jodie Foster? Who took over the movie role of Clarice Starling from Jodie Foster? Number 26. Who was George Logan better known as? Who was George Logan better known as? I have no idea. Number 27. What form of energy is produced by an electric motor? What form of energy is produced by an electric motor? Number 28. Which beautiful youth did the Greek goddess Aphrodite love? Which beautiful youth did the Greek goddess Aphrodite love? Number 29. Who said, "When you are as great as I am, it's hard to be humble"? Who said, "When you are as great as I am, it is hard to be humble"? And number 30, the final question in this round, although I will read them quickly through once more. Which country's flag shows a green star on a red background? Which country's flag shows a green star on a red background? I wonder how you've done with those. So, have a look at your sheet. Highlight any of those that you haven't been able to answer or you missed because there's a blip on the internet or the doorbell rang or the cat wanted to go out or whatever, or those you're struggling with, and we will zip through them quickly, just reading them through once before we do the answers. So if you are ready, our final read through of round 2, our potluck round tonight. Question number 1. What is the Aurora Australis also called? Number 2. Which 3 South American countries does the equator cross? Number 3. What was the first X-rated film to win an Oscar? Number 4. What is the name of the national airline of Israel? Number 5. Before Henry Cavill stepped into the role in 2013, who portrayed Superman on the big screen? Number 6. Which female cookery writer wrote Climbing the Mango Trees? Number 7. What did little Polly Flinders spoil? Number 8. Who wrote Anna Karenina? Number 9. What metallic element is mixed with tin to form the alloy bronze? Number 10. Who was the founder of the Christian Science movement? Number 11. Made this millennium, in which decade was the detective series Jericho set? Number 12. In which city did Karl Marx write Das Kapital? Number 13. How is the Caribbean island of St. Christopher more familiarly known? Number 14. Which planet has a pink appearance? Number 15. Who was world professional billiards champion from 1968 to 1980? Number 16. Which is the most northerly capital city in Europe? Number 17. Which New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe? I think it is. What's the name of the New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe? It doesn't read very well, that question. Number 18. Which country is the world's leading producer of copper? Number 19. Which acid builds up in the muscles during severe exercise? Our sailing question. Who circumnavigated the world solo in Gypsy Moth 4 in 1966 to 1967? Number 21. Which Australian city stands near the mouth of the Yarra River? Number 22. What common mineral is formed by the fossilization of vegetation? 23. Which stand-up comedian created the character the pub landlord? Number 24. Which comic playwright wrote the trilogy The Norman Conquests? 25. Who took over the movie role of Clarice Starling from Jodie Foster? Number 26. Who was George Logan better known as? 27. What form of energy is produced by an electric motor? 28. Which beautiful youth did the Greek goddess Aphrodite love? 29. Who said, "When you are as great as I am, it's hard to be humble"? And finally, 30. Which country's flag shows a green star on a red background? So that's the end of our second round. And here we go with the answers. Number 1 then, are you ready? What is the Aurora Australis also called? It's the Southern Lights. Southern Lights. Which 3 South American countries does the equator cross? It's Brazil, Colombia and Ecuador. Brazil, Colombia and Ecuador. Number 3. What was the first X-rated film to win an Oscar? It was Midnight Cowboy. Midnight Cowboy, number 3. Number 4. What is the name of the national airline of Israel? It's El Al. E-L-A-L. El Al. Number 5. Before Henry Cavill stepped into the role in 2013, who portrayed Superman on the big screen? It was Brandon Routh, or Routh, R-O-U-T-H. Brandon Routh, or Ruth. Number 6. Which female cookery writer wrote Climbing the Mango Trees? It's Madhur Jaffrey. Madhur Jaffrey. Number 7. What did little Polly Flinders spoil? Her nice new clothes. Number 7. Her nice new clothes. Number 8. Who wrote Anna Karenina? It was Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy. Number 8. Number 9. What metallic element is mixed with tin to form the alloy bronze? The answer is copper. Copper. Number 9. Number 10. Who was the founder of the Christian Science movement? It was Mary Baker Eddy. Mary Baker Eddy. Number 11. Made this millennium. In which decade was the detective series Jericho set? It was the 1950s. 1950s. So that's not actually this millennium. That's the last millennium, isn't it? So this book is obviously before 2000, I would have thought. Or the questions, some of them are before 2000. But 1950s is the answer. Number 12. In which city did Karl Marx write Das Kapital? It was London. Number 12. London. Number 13. How is the Caribbean island of St. Christopher more familiarly known? St. Kitts. St. Kitts. Number 14. Which planet has a pink appearance? It's Mars. Number 14, Mars. Number 15. Who was World Professional Billiards Champion from 1968 to 1980? It was Rex Williams. Rex Williams. Number 16. Which is the most northerly capital city in Europe? It is Helsinki. Helsinki. Number 17. The question that doesn't read right. What's the name of the New York baseball player who married Marilyn Monroe? It was Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio. Number 18. Which country is the world's leading producer of copper? It's Chile. Chile. Number 18. Number 19. Which acid builds up in the muscles during severe exercise? It's lactic acid. Lactic acid. Number 20. Our sailing question. Who circumnavigated the world solo in Gypsy Moth 4 in 1966 to 67? It was Francis Chichester. Francis Chichester. Number 21. Which Australian city stands near the mouth of the Yarra River? The Yarra River is Melbourne. Melbourne. Number 22. Our difficult question with an easy answer. What common mineral is formed by the fossilization of vegetation? It's coal. Coal. Number 23. Which stand-up comedian created the character the pub landlord? It's Al Murray. Al Murray. Number 23. Number 24. Which comic playwright wrote the trilogy The Norman Conquest? Number 24, Alan Ayckbourn. Alan Ayckbourn. 25. Who took over the movie role of Clarice Starling from Jodie Foster? It was Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore. Number 26. Who was George Logan better known as? Now, I didn't know this one. Oh, right. Oh, that's interesting. So, George Logan was better known as Evadna Hinge of Hinge and Bracket. So, there you go. George Logan was better known as Evadna Hinge of Hinge and Bracket. I remember Hinge and Bracket. God, that was a few years ago, that was. There we go. Learnt something tonight. 27. What form of energy is produced by an electrical motor? It is mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Number 28. Which beautiful youth did the Greek goddess Aphrodite love? And it was Adonis or Adonis. Adonis or Adonis. Adonis. Number 29. Who said, when you are as great as I am, it's hard to be humble? That was Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. He always said he was great, didn't he? I'm the greatest. Number 30. Which country's flag shows a green star on a red background? It is Morocco. So Morocco, the last answer in round 2. Round 2. Is somebody else questioning the answers? Reykjavik. What, instead of Helsinki? It says Helsinki in the book, so it's got to be right, or possibly wrong. Anyway, tot up your marks. If you disagree with the answer, you can give yourself a mark. I'll give you that. If you think I haven't got an atlas together to have a look. In fact, I might be able to do a search on Google, mightn't I? Let's have a look on Google. Let's see what it says on Google. Or Siri. Let's see if I can ask Siri. Siri, what is the most...
I'm not sure I understand.
Just wait. Wait, Siri. Let's try again. What is the most northern city in Europe?
Here's what I found.
Oh, that's really helpful. It says Hammerfest. So Siri's no good either. That's come up with something completely different. That says Hammerfest in Norway. Denise says Google says Reykjavik. Right, we'll take Reykjavik. If you've got Helsinki, you can have a point as well. But we'll take Reykjavik because you're probably right. Because I know this book is often wrong. So yeah. How are we doing on those? 12. Goodness, not so good on that round. 20. Oh, somebody's... Kate and Richard done 20. That's good. 12. 15 and a third. Is that because you got one of one of the countries on the equator. That must be why you got the third. Capital what? It does say capital, yeah. That's what I said into Google. I said capital, but it gave me that weird name, Hammerfest. Oh, did I not say Google? Did I not say capital? What is the most northern capital city in Europe?
I found this on the web.
It is Reykjavik. You're right, Reykjavik. It says so on my iPhone. You're right, Alistair. I didn't say capital. That's why. Thank you for picking me up on that. I'm glad you're here to pick me up. Anyway, that was a tough round for some. Some did pretty good. Meredith did 23. Look, so that's not too bad. So yeah, tough for some. But then if all the rounds were easy for everybody, it wouldn't be any point, would it? So we've got to have some mixed rounds. We've got to have some tough questions. We've got to have some easier questions. Otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be brilliant. So let's find the last round tonight. The last round. Okay, let me find it and then I'll tell you what it is. The last round tonight is around Europe. Around Europe. So we might get another question on the most northerly city in Europe, because it wouldn't surprise me if the question comes up again. So we'll see. So this one's all about Europe. Around Europe. So if you're ready for our final, what are we going on there? Iceland is not in Europe. Okay. So what's the point of that? Is Reykjavik in Iceland? I don't even know where Reykjavik is. Is Reykjavik in... Now, see, we've got a bit of a debate going on here. The book might actually be right then. Iceland is in Europe. Okay. Goodness, we've got a bit of a debate here. We'll have to do some research on this and say for sure next week. They'll give me something to read up on my geography by next week. Anyway, we better move on, because if we dwell on one question for too long, we won't get our third round in tonight before the pound coins run out in the meter here in the Hepburn household. And another bulb goes, because I've remembered I've got a bulb gone I've got to replace. Anyway, so our third round tonight is around Europe. Are you ready for being around Europe? Number 1. Which country's capital is Tirana? Which country's capital is Tirana? Number 2. Where is a passion play staged every 10 years? Where is a passion play staged every 10 years? Number 3. Which state was Macedonia part of from 1945 to 1991? Which state was Macedonia part of from 1945 to 1991? Number 4. What island holds the George Cross? Which island holds the George Cross? Number 5. Which country's highest mountain is the Grossglockner? Which country's highest mountain is the Grossglockner? Okay. Denise ought to know that one because she has actually been to the Grossglockner. So I'll give her a little clue. Number 6. Which countries are on the Iberian Peninsula? Which countries are on the Iberian Peninsula? Number 7. Where is the Netherlands' seat of government and administration? Where is the Netherlands' seat of government and administration? Number 8. What are the Dardanelles and where are they? What are the Dardanelles and where are they? One for Brother Alistair. Which southern German city is famous for its October beer festival? I'm sure you'll know the answer to that one. In fact, I think all of our recent incumbents, the last incumbent and the incumbent before that, would also know that question as well. Which southern German city is famous for its October beer festival? Number 10. Which country is called... Oh, goodness gracious me. No, it's not called goodness gracious me, but this is going to be difficult, this one. Helleniki Demokrataria or Hellenic Republic. So, which country is called Helleniki Demokratia or the Hellenic Republic? I think they write these difficult names in the book to give me a hard time, don't they? Number 11. Which country's chief river is the Po? Which country's chief river is the Po? P-O. Number 12. Which country whose capital is Vaduz has no armed forces? Which country whose capital is Vaduz, V-A-D-U-Z, has no armed forces? That's an interesting one. Number 13. Which sea lies to the north of Poland? Which sea lies to the north of Poland? Number 14. In which 4 countries are the Alps? In which 4 countries are the Alps? Number 15. Which country covers 10% of the globe's land surface? Which country covers 10% of the globe's land surface? Number 16. By what English name is Colne known? By what English name is Colne known? K-O-L-N. Number 17. Which country's landscape is made up of volcanoes and geysers? Which country's landscape is made up of volcanoes and geysers? Number 18. Between which countries does the Skagerrak lie? Between which countries does the Skagerrak lie? S-K-A-G-E-R-R-A-K. Number 19. What are Bessarabia, Moldavia, and a former part of the USSR now known? What are Bessarabia, Moldavia, and a former part of the USSR now known as? Number 20. Which country has had a Prime Minister called Wim Kok? Which country has had a Prime Minister called Wim Kok? Number 21. Albert II became king of which country in 1993? Albert II became king of which country in 1993? Number 22. A region of eastern France has a girl's name with another girl's name as its capital. What are they? A region of eastern France has a girl's name with another girl's name as its capital. What are they? Number 23. Which country do Greenland and the Faroe Islands belong to? Which country do Greenland and the Faroe Islands belong to? Number 24. What is France's highest point? What is France's highest point? Number 25. Whose upper house of parliament is called the Bundesrat? Whose upper house of parliament is called the Bundesrat? Number 26. Which country's currency is the lev? Which country's currency is the lev? L-E-V. Number 27. What are the two official languages of Finland? What are the two official languages of Finland? Number 28. Which aid organisation emblem is the Swiss flag with its colours reversed? Which aid organisation's emblem is the Swiss flag with its colours reversed? Number 29. Which Portuguese province borders Spain and the Atlantic Ocean? Which Portuguese province borders Spain and the Atlantic Ocean? And final question in this round. Which is Europe's largest country after Russia? Which is Europe's largest country after Russia? Somebody's going to say in a minute, Russia's not in Europe. I think they meant the continent of Europe rather than as in Europe, as in the European community. Okay, so I'll read through those one more time before we have the answers. So make sure you've marked any you want to check as you go through. If you've missed any, make sure you catch that question as well. And then we'll go through the answers. So, number 1, which country's capital is Tirana? Number 2, where is a passion play staged every 10 years? Number 3, which state was Macedonia part of from 1945 to 1991? Number 4, which island holds the George Cross? Number 5, which country's highest mountain is the Grossglockner? Number 6, which countries are on the Iberian Peninsula? Number 7, where is the Netherlands' seat of government and administration? Number 8, where are the Dardanelles and what are they? Number 9, which southern German city is famous for its October beer festival? Number 10, which country is called Helleniki Demokratia or Hellenic Republic? Number 11, which country's chief river is the Po? Number 12, which country whose capital is Vaduz has no armed services or no armed forces? Number 13, which sea lies to the north of Poland? Number 14, in which 4 countries are the Alps? Number 15, which country covers 10% of the globe's land surface? Number 16, by what English name is Köln, K-O-L-N, known? Number 17, which country's landscape is made up of volcanoes and geysers? Number 18, between which countries does the Skagerrak lie? The Skagerrak, S-K-A-G-E-R-R-A-K. Number 19, what are Bessarabia, Moldavia, and a former part of the USSR now known as? Number 20, what country has a prime minister or had a prime minister called Wim Kok? Number 21, Albert II became king of which country in 1993? 22, a region of eastern France has a girl's name with another girl's name as its capital. What are they? Number 23, which country do Greenland and the Faroe Islands belong to? Number 24, what is France's highest point? Number 25, whose upper house of parliament is called the Bundesrat? Number 26. Which country's currency is the lev, L-E-V? Number 27. What are the 2 official languages of Finland? Number 28. Which aid organisation's emblem is the Swiss flag with its colours reversed? Number 29. Which Portuguese province borders Spain and the Atlantic Ocean? Number 30. Which is Europe's largest country after Russia? So that's the questions read for the last time tonight. Well, let me find the answer sheet and we will go through and give you the answers. Okay, are we ready? Going through with the answers. Which country's capital is Tirana? It's Albania. Number 1, Albania. Number 2, where is a passion play staged every 10 years? It's Oberammergau. Oberammergau. Number 3, which state was Macedonia part of from 1945 to 1991? It was Yugoslavia. Number 3, Yugoslavia. Number 4, which island holds the George Cross? It's Malta. Malta. Number 5, which country's highest mountain is the Grossglockner? Did Denise get it right? Did she get it right? It's Austria. Austria. Number 6, which countries are on the Iberian Peninsula? Spain and Portugal. Spain and Portugal. Number 7, where is the Netherlands' seat of government and administration? It is The Hague. The Hague, number 7. Number 8, what are the Dardanelles and where are they? It is a strait and it is Turkey. So it's the Dardanelles Strait and they are in Turkey. Number 9, which southern German city is famous for its October Beer Festival? It's Munich. Munich. Number 9 that was. Number 10, which country is called Alinki Demokratia or the Hellenic Republic? It is Greece. Greece. Number 11, which country's chief river is the Po? It is Italy. Number 11, Italy. Number 12, which country whose capital is Vaduz has no armed services? It is Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein. Number 13, which sea lies to the north of Poland? It is the Baltic. The Baltic. Number 14, in which 4 countries are the Alps? It's France, Italy, Switzerland and Austria. France, Italy, Switzerland and Austria. Number 15, which country covers 10% of the globe's land surface? It is Russia. Russia. Number 15. Number 16, by what English name is Cologne known? It is Cologne. Cologne. Number 17, which country's landscape is made up of volcanoes and geysers? It's Iceland. Iceland. Number 18, between which countries does the Skagerrak lie? It's Denmark and Norway. Denmark and Norway. What are Bessarabia, Moldavia and a former part of the USSR known as? It is Moldova. Moldova. Number 20, which country has had a prime minister called Wim Kok? It is the Netherlands. The Netherlands. Number 21, Albert II became king of which country in 1993? It is Belgium. Belgium. Number 22, a region of eastern France has a girl's name with another girl's name as its capital city. What are they? It is Lorraine and Nancy. Lorraine being the area and Nancy being the capital. Number 23. Which country do Greenland and the Faroe Islands belong to? It is Denmark. Denmark, number 23. Number 24. What is France's highest point? It's Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc. 25. Whose upper house of parliament is called the Bundesrat? The Bundesrat is Germany. Germany. Number 26. Which country's currency is the lev? L-E-V, lev. It is Bulgaria. Bulgaria. Number 27. What are the two official languages in Finland? It is Finnish and Swedish. Finnish and Swedish. Number 28. Which aid organisation's emblem is the Swiss flag with the colours reversed? Well, the Swiss flag is red with a white cross. So if we reverse it, it's red. Sorry, it's a white flag with a red cross. So it would be the Red Cross. Number 29. Which Portuguese province borders Spain and the Atlantic Ocean? It's the Algarve. The Algarve. And finally, number 30. Which is Europe's largest country after Russia? Which is Europe's largest country after Russia? And the answer is Ukraine. Ukraine. That is our 30 answers to the Around Europe round, our third and final round this evening. So do tell us how you've done with that round, and let's see how your geography, and particularly your European geography, is. And really, while you're doing that, just to say from me, thank you for once again joining us tonight. We had a really good crowd here tonight, well over 50 households connected in. So that's really, really good. It makes it all worthwhile when you get all those sorts of people connecting. So we got 24 for Joanna, 18 for Les, 14 for Gina, 25.5 for the Rivers, Sheila 20, Tess 18. All pretty good scores. 21.5 for Nigel, 26.5 for Michael and Di, Cassie 21, 20 for Yvonne, Jane 23.5, Evelyn 18, Gillian 14.5, Alistair 26, Malcolm and Di 20, Felicity 15, 18.5 for Steph, me too. Me too what? 22 for Michael. 20 for Doug. Denise 20. I hope you got that Austria question, Denise. The Glossgottner, because you've been there. Meredy Phillips 27. Well done, Meredy. Angela 16. You've all done really, really well tonight. You've done really well. There were 3 sort of mediocre rounds tonight, I think. They've tested some people, but people have done pretty well on the round, so we haven't had any disastrous scores tonight. I haven't seen any disastrous scores at all, so that's pretty good. So thanks for coming along. If you're joining us tomorrow for our Sunday morning service, that's 9:30 on here, all the same channels, YouTube, Facebook, also direct on the church website as well, and on Twitter Periscope. Also to remind you that we do have a weekly news programme that goes out live at 6 p.m. on a Saturday evening, if you want to join us for that. And if you've missed it and you'd like to see it, it is available on YouTube, Facebook, etc. to catch up. And all being well, we will be here yet again next week at Saturday evening, 7:30, for another 3 rounds of questions, or maybe a picture round, you never know, if you want us to be. And at the moment it looks like we still have a good number of people connecting, so we'll carry on as long as you tell us you want us to do it. And when you get fed up, let us know, and then we won't do it anymore. So enjoy the rest of your evening, not that there's much of it left now, and See you next week if you're joining us for the quiz, or tomorrow morning for the service, or for the news programme at 6 o'clock next Saturday. If you'd like to get our parish email out that we send out each week, reminding about quizzes and news programmes and other things, and you don't get it, if you go to our website at www.parishofwykeregis.org.uk and you go down to the bottom left hand corner of the home page, you'll see there's a little box you can put in there your name and your email address and submit it, and then you'll automatically get the emails we send out reminding about quizzes and other things that are going on. And obviously when we open up and we can do other things and get back to doing teddy bears picnics and abseiling down the church tower, and I think Brother Alistair's going to do that to raise some money, or we're going to dangle him from the tower or something, well then you'll get the emails and be able to come along to that sort of thing as well. So thanks again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening and weekend, and we'll see you again soon. So it's a good night from me.